I fished my first tournament when I was just a kid. I mean, like, I think I was 9 or something. It was like an all species tournament. My dad found this little tournament. He's like, hey, we should fish this. And all we had was a canoe. And we got there and it was raining and blowing. And he's like, man, I ain't going out there in that in a canoe, you know? So he found this guy that was going out by himself and talked to him. He's like, hey, we take my kid, you know? And first time I'd been in a bass boat, hat goes flying off, it blasts off, the whole thing, you know? So yeah, I won my very first boat as one of the US Opens, and man, it was a blessing. It allowed me to sell that boat that I won, and then I purchased my very first bass boat. I'd been borrowing them for years. Man, I'll tell you, there's a big learning curve. You know, I grew up fishing basically in the Western United States. I always had a mindset of going to the East, and I would always work on supposed Eastern techniques, you know, like flipping and big crankbaits and, you know, not just the finesse stuff. So I always had that in my mind. I'm always working towards that as I fish in the West. But still, man, monster learning curve when you come out East and just learning these big bodies of water, you know, just getting familiar with them, just getting from point A to point B on some of these places where you've never been before is crazy in itself. It's an adventure. Every single year on tour, I'm going to places I've never been. Trying to learn those in just a day or two of practice is pretty wild. I love it. There ain't nothing better. Yeah, this is our first event this year on the Bass Pro Tour, and you know, our buddies and stuff, and they'll be like, hey, how was your off season? You know, how was vacation basically? And I'm like, dude, I don't have off season. I fish nonstop. I still fish like team tournaments. I got a team partner I fish with 30 years team fishing with. Fish every Pro-Am I can get into, the Toyota series I'll fish, just about anything. So I don't really have an off season. I don't have any other major hobbies other than, you know, raising kids and loving my wife, you know.